I'm here, goat. Y'all just bear with me. Okay, so on today's episode of StreamYards, we are going to be okay. So hello, Kevin Hoyle. But anyways, as I was saying, a lot of you may remember that their son Adam was kidnapped from the Sears department store, and that apparently Adam was murdered, and all they ever found was his head. Well, on today's episode, we will find out if Adam Walsh is still alive. Needless to say, Meghan Walsh started asking questions about her brother Adam. It came out that her parents were friends with a lot of the people involved in the Epstein case, and retaliation had happened to Meghan when she started asking questions. Meghan's children were taken because of John and Reeve, and media has never picked up on this after well over a year. It's always been told she needs to be hush hush. People who are helping her need to be quiet and stuff like that. But it's time for the truth to be brought to the light. So we are going to be doing some sharing of Francesca Amato. As I said, I had asked her if it was okay to share it out, and she told me yes, it was. So I will definitely be sharing out her live. Paste. Just waiting on someone to come in who's supposed to be screen shared it for me, which of course is none other than fuck DSS. And I don't know if anybody's followed. You can catch one of the court updates on American Amy's live from a couple of days ago. Her and Lady Justice. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say her name wrong, but I do believe it's Lady Justice Liberty Press is her name. They were both there at Meghan Walsh's last court date, which was about 4 days ago. So you can go on their channel and you can catch it, mainly American Amy's. I don't, I've never quite checked out Lady Liberty Justice, or Lady whatever her name is. Y'all, I'm sorry. But anyways, they both deserve credit too because they were there at the court date with Meghan Walsh. And we're going to get this situated. And we're going to find out, just exactly what's going on and how corrupt these people really are. That they hide these things, they sweep it under the rug. John Walsh is this powerful man, y'all. Powerful man. For Christ's sakes, he works with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So how many people have went missing under John Walsh's watch? Especially if Adam Walsh is still alive.
And a lot of these corrupted systems, right now, and what we've been exposing over a period of months now, with regards to interviews with Meghan Walsh and, just exposing John Walsh, exposing what's been happening with missing and exploited.
Okay.
Wow. So
hold on,
y'all,
bear with me.
While we've been delving in and we've been researching. Now, if you guys know me and you follow me, you know that I am an expert in domestic violence, child abuse, and the Americans with Disability Act. But what I really call myself an expert in is that I know 10 steps ahead what's going to happen in these family court cases, because I know just how evil and corrupt they are. And so I have been able, hello and thank you, and God bless you too. I have been able to figure out ways to try to save these families and save these children and save kids from CPS, which we have proven over and over again that this is the child trafficking industry. Well, today, let me tell you something, guys. These numbers need to blow up right now. This mess.
Bear with me, y'all.
Child trafficking industry. Well,
I'm gonna figure out how I can do this. Bear with me, y'all. I'm learning. Ooh. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I gotta mute. Does anybody know how to screen share? Bear with me. I'm gonna figure it out eventually.
Today, let me tell you something, guys.
Oh my God. Somebody help me out here. How the heck do I screen share? Because I'm like not the smartest. StreamYards. Hold on. I'm gonna figure it out. Oh yeah, that's duh, y'all. Okay, hold on. I figured it out. Oh yeah. And destroy.
And destroy. And destroy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm almost there. Bear with me. Okay, DSS is not working on here apparently, so hold on. Bear with me. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. Punished for protecting. Okay, ready?
Different, you know.
Oh, Jesus.
Trying to put on words. He wanted me to be his son. Like I was the perfect boy everywhere, you know. Like John said, order out a catalog, you could have me, you know.
How do I switch it?
It's just I'm drawing a blank. It's okay. I'm going to go back to the first part. So the first part we discussed today was in 1981, you were left at a mall by your mother, Meghan Walsh. You were left at a mall? Yeah, we went in and... What's about that? Yeah. Well, I'd have to start a little bit before that. Starting that day, I was over at my grandmother's. John came over and picked me up. Then we proceeded to go up to where the horses are to go get Mom. Then after that, we left there, and then John had to go to work, so we had to drop him off. And then we went to the mall at Sears, and then she went over to the Lamps, and I was going to go check out the new arcade game. But when that happened, I noticed. How old were you at that time? Just so the audience that doesn't know, we have newer generations. I was 6 years old. I was 6. 6 years old. Yeah. Okay. So you're in DNA. We're gonna get to the DNA, guys. We're gonna get to all of it, but keep asking. Okay. So yeah, she left me there by the arcade game, and then they had a fight there. So the security guard kicked all the children out of the building, and I was amongst the kids being kicked out of the building, away from the parent, inside the mall.
Can y'all still hear me even though I had a phone call come in?
At that point now, so your mom like literally left you. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on a minute. Let's bring our guest back in. Hold on there. Yeah. We were trying to do a double screen and so during that time, this is the day now. If anybody that doesn't understand this, we're preaching to the choir here that know about the Adam Walsh situation, which is what frontlined or missing and exploited John Walsh, the whole thing. And then if you've been following what's happening to Meghan Walsh and the situation back, they young man, and I have some evidence today that I'm going to show you guys that I'm like there's no way that this isn't true, but it's up to you. We're not question for you today. Okay, there's certainly enough questions, at the very least. But 6 years old was in the mall at 6 years old, correct, Adam? 6 years old, left in the mall.
Yeah, that's correct.
Your mom, John Walsh's mom. Other kids, what were their ages?
About my age. Some were older, like 12. Who were they were hogging the game system, so I didn't get a chance to play it.
This is Francesca Amato, punished for protecting. The channel name now is Punished No More and Free to Protect.
So I went over there and said that that's not appropriate, and what do you think you're doing? And I grabbed her hand and took her back up to the arcade. And then after that, when we all got kicked out, I took her to a blue van outside, where I told her mother or somebody or some girl that tell somebody there's something going to happen. Because I knew, had an idea that he was going to do something. So then I went back into Sears, and that's when I went in the vehicle with him, and then he disappeared off yonder.
This is that moment, but you have to remember, these are unattended children, including John Walsh,
right?
His mother. Not just them all. Do you want to tell the audience what she had said to you earlier that day, or is that something you want to not?
Remember, I asked her if I could play the arcade. She said, "Yeah, go ahead." And I said, "I love you, Mom," and then I left. We really didn't say anything. She was very quiet that day because of the argument that we had the day before.
That's the argument. The argument. You want to tell the audience about that? Because this is where I think it ties.
Well, the day before, I was working with Christopher, John, and Campbell, and Mom come out, and they're like, "How we go to water slides or whatever?" And so we went to the water slides, and in the car ride, she's all, "Well, we're going to dump John and throw him to the street, and I'm going to go with Campbell. What do you think of Campbell being your dad?" And I'm like, "I'm going to throw you to the street, and I'm keeping John."
So now this is the Campbell.
That was the day before, yeah.
There's a question coming up right now. We might as well go ahead and touch that. So, how old are you now? How old is you now?
I was born in 74, so 47. Right?
And I have another question, and this is obviously a part of the interview today. You reached out to your parents. Have you reached out to John Walsh?
I called him once or twice. Pretty much wrong number. He said to me once, other times I couldn't get through.
Answer the phone, and when you said, "Hi, I'm Adam Walsh, your son," he said,
"You must have the wrong number." Yeah.
Must have the wrong number, and hung up the phone.
Yep.
Hung up. Didn't ask anything about this.
No.
He left.
And that's when I decided to go to Florida with the medical side, because he obviously the family didn't want to help bring me back to my actual identity. So I was like, well, medically, I was born with problems. I can prove that I'm Adam Walsh medically. Because I was born with bicuspid aortic valve. And all the medical stuff, I can try to prove that that's me medically. I don't need that. That's what I thought when I went down to Florida. And then I managed to get that connected.
That's where we have some evidence of who he really is. And this is where the blow minds. That's why they're on his little side. This is the first time he's spoken out in public in 40 years, 40 plus years. We'll save that piece of evidence. We'll save that for a moment. I'm going to put it up on the screen, and I'm going to hold it up on the screen for quite some time. I just want to kind of let them understand sort of algorithmically, and I want you to understand that you're watching. Go ahead and mute that for a second.
Oh, that was loud. That was not me this time, y'all.
I want you guys to understand how the fact of children happens and how we've been exposing John Walsh's, how we've been exposing missing and exploited. And I keep saying children go missing, become exploited, and as we know, this is happening through family court, CPS, Walmart. We just fixed it, Amy. Thank you. Family court, CPS, Walmart. And just takes children without due process. Very dangerous. Okay, very, very dangerous. Those that are asking about DNA, we're going to get that. Okay, I'm trying to lead to that, and I appreciate you guys asking. So keep these questions coming. We're going to get to all of this. We asked all these questions. Sure that I'm telling you that my personal belief. This is not anybody else. I believe this. I that. Okay, I've had enough talk, and I want to look at pictures and side by side. You're very welcome.
Hunter, are you watching her channel too? Is it just me, or is she really buffering?
They're going to tell the truth. So, unfortunately, our country's backwards on that. So please, conversations that we today over again. If you're not having a good connection, I don't know why. Is anybody else having a bad connection?
Yes, you're having a bad connection.
Yeah, you're a little laggy.
I'm laggy, and I shouldn't be. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this.
Hey, Joe Cool. Again, y'all, this is Punish No More and Free to Protect. That is the YouTube channel, and she is also live on other platforms. As of right now, she is speaking to John Walsh, and it has been confirmed, not John Walsh, Adam Walsh. She is speaking to Adam Walsh, and it has been confirmed through medical that this is truly Adam Walsh that she is speaking to right now.
I already have several platforms right now. And this is an urgent story. And the reason it's so important is because this ties in together that we've been saying for years, okay? It's crazy. It's important that this is looked into. It is important that that this is, I'm sorry, my here. It's important that this story comes out and it proves when he was abducted, okay, there was an abduction, but then there's a second abduction. Do I have yours? So it's so go ahead and tell them that. I'm going to mute.
After Otis Toole, there's this people from Colorado, and they had a house there, and they stuck underneath the house, like literally underneath the house, to hide me. And for a little bit, I got away from them, and I kept heading west. From them, I didn't get to a really safe house. I thought safe until I got to Washington State. So, and they had other kids with them there, so it wasn't like I was the only one.
DSS, so can you fill in Joe Cool, please?
Kind of safe house or child station where they were transporting children.
So they're transporting children. Now you're considering safe because you think, but a whole lot of transporting on with you and a whole lot of danger. So as 6 years old, you can describe this to this audience that's watching. You've had to have your numerous occasions. Sorry about that. That needs to come back up.
Yeah, so, numerous. And I've been hurt a lot over the years.
Okay, go ahead.
And I've been hurt a lot over the years. Every 4 or 5 years, I think there's something like I try to come out and something happens. Sometimes it's a threat. Other times it's someone else gets hurt or gets killed. So it's just been the only time I felt safe was during the times when between, I guess, 8 and 14, I was doing okay. But from 6 to 8, I was.
Joe Cole, it has been confirmed. They done medical to confirm that this is truly Adam Walsh. They have proof to prove this is Adam Walsh. Meghan Walsh lost her children because she started asking questions about her brother when she found out that her family was involved in the Epstein case because they were friends with a lot of the people who was involved with Epstein. And she started asking questions. Now she's fighting for her children. She's trying to be silenced. The media picking up on this. Her story, Adam's story, deserves to be put out there. This is Adam Walsh. Francesca Amato is one of the most famous people who fights against CPS corruption and for missing and exploited children. She would not be hosting this if she was not 100% sure without a shadow of a doubt that this was Adam Walsh.
Give me a moment. Okay, can you guys hear me all right? If I can get a thumbs up or something so I can. All right, so you can. Okay, so this is hurting me, of course, because of all the children. Some of you find it shocking. This kid at 6 years old was able to go west. You see, what happens to children, and often they don't even have that bravery inside of them. You guys don't know how bad it is. You just don't know. You just don't know. There's things I don't want to know. There's pictures people send me, and I'm like, can you please pre-warn me before you send? Okay? This runs deep, guys. It's dark. It runs deep. And we're putting this together for you today because, like I was saying earlier, sure, we are all, this is personal to us when it comes to Meghan Walsh. This is personal to us when it comes to my families that are suffering, and they shouldn't be, and this shouldn't be happening. This becomes personal to America now, because this has been trillions of dollars under a guise of protecting children through missing and exploited, which I've been saying is connected clearly with family court CPS child trafficking industry, which a few years ago I gave the statistics back at them in New York State, which gave so many families vindication that they're the child trafficking industry by their own admittance, my friends, by their own admittance, and yet it's still running. It's still running. So I had to bring him out. I had to bring him forward. I had to give him a chance to have a voice. Okay? After 40 years, you know, when we were talking earlier, he was very choked up, and I wanted you to stop, and we stopped for a while. So if you wonder, like, a child went west, a child, you to explain to them, you had to find it up in your own strength to fight to protect your life, and he was been shot at. I mean, you've got scars to prove it. Adam, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that. Thank you, Jules.
Yeah, I still have the scars. I still, like, right in the back of my head, I think it's right about here where my finger is. There's a hole in my head from where Otis Toole stabbed. Smeared my face in the backseat of the car. And then after that, then I talked to him. Said, you don't have to kill me, and I'm a better kid. I'm a better son than your son.
DNA proof that this is Adam Walsh that is on here right now, Miss White. If you don't like it, you can leave the room. You don't have to believe it. I'm up for Adam and for Meghan. They deserve justice.
And it's the attacker. And I've got.
It's amazing how they found his head but can never find his body, right?
Yeah, don't worry about the background.
Where's the media coverage that Meghan lost her kids, huh?
I do have.
Did you know that John Walsh admitted in his book that he was with Reeve at 16 years old, and he was in his early 20s, and he knew that the age of consent was only legally in 17 in New York at the time. But he's such a great guy, right? He protects people from child predators, right? He was one himself.
Yeah, well, we tried.
Again, as Adam said, anytime he's ever tried to come out, somebody's ended up hurt. Somebody's ended up dead. So that's why he's hid all these years. But it's time for the truth to be brought to the light.
Basically, when the DNA test went in, tell them what happened without saying too much of names or whatever. Just when this DNA test went in, because obviously he has no problem giving his DNA.
Yeah, no problem. It went in.
No problem.
And the first one got lost. So then I did the second. The first one got lost.
The first one got lost.
Supposedly
okay?
lost.
I mean, you have to understand, this is not, just go do it. But that was my first thing, let's go do a DNA. It's not that easy. Do you understand what would you have any conception because
you have other people going, oh wait, we can't. We don't want to do this, so they try to.
Adam Walsh is alive.
Which is, I believe,
they
what
sex
they did
trafficked their son.
They don't want the truth to come out. So, plus it could even come up with other more darker stuff that we can't think of.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Obviously, they don't want this out there. They don't want what we're doing today out there. They don't want this out there. Okay, his life has been in danger. His entire life has been in danger. You run from people shooting at you. You were thinking he went from family to family. Okay, thinking that they were protecting him, and it turned out we don't know 100% sure, but we both believe that those families were setups, correct? Because people were murdered along the way. You want to talk about that?
That was Charlie Brandt. He murdered a girl and put her head in a bucket. So it made me look at her head in a bucket, so it wouldn't come forward and talk or anything. I even tried to come out once and with Finicum, and I had Oregon State Police shooting in the car and rounds, and it's just wild, you know. In 2004, they tried basically murder me again, so I ran from them. Actually chased after them, not run, sorry. Chased after them. I ran after them in 2004. That was fun. So yeah, through my whole life, danger.
So look at this, and you're put the phone back down again, just because I know you're so nervous, and this is very hard, and we really applaud you. You know, you have an audience out here that is sending nothing but well wishes and love to you. Okay, no, but there's no attack here at all. So I know this is hard. Just imagine how hard. But I just want to show you guys 3 pictures. We're going to show you Adam in 1981. This is Adam in 1981. And now we're going to talk about the DNA with your teeth. So what did you do to your teeth when you were younger to quote unquote prove that you were and then this is Adam now, so you can see the eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth, chin, okay? And then this would be Adam in 1983 after death, okay guys? Take a good look. That's after death, my friends, okay?
Yeah, they took me to the dentist. And they ripped it. And took extra copies, which was really weird because the moment that I got to where I was going, they would do that. You know, you get to a new family and they immediately get they get the dentist, which is weird.
Right, and that's how they found. That's how they did the supposed DNA of the
school. Yeah, with my molar. a second molar.
Right. Then there you go. Okay, so there's your answer for that. Now, so that's what they did. So you have to understand, like, this is, listen, if you guys don't believe this, I know it's hard to wrap your head around to some of you. Most of you get it already. But just think of what they do in family court. The guardians ad litem come in. The thank you for muting, Adam. The guardians ad litem come in. The child attorneys come in. The defense experts come in. You guys know. I see this all the time. They lie for each other. When they see you're winning the case, they'll bring in other people to tell more lies to outweigh, the evidence against you that's not even real. I mean, so this is what they do. This is how deep, dark, cultish, satanic the child trafficking industry is, and this is it. And this is why there's people out there that, that they try to do to discredit those of us that speak the truth and that actually know that this is true. So one thing, Adam, we don't want to, the gentleman that said he came in a little late, I just want to be able to, yes, amen, he is the hero. I just want to be able to just kind of catch back up. So what we said earlier is that when his mom left him in the mall, there was somebody there that tried to abduct, and I believe it was this girl, right, Adam, if we're not mistaken, if I have this up on the screen proper.
No, that was a statement.
This is after. Okay, let me take that down for a second then. He tried to protect another little girl from being taken, and then he ended up being taken, and that's what happened. But this now is later. So it's been a series of him literally running and escaping from literally one predator to the next predator until he's adopted. And I'm concerned about the adoptive parents as well, obviously, because when you would go to your adoptive parents, because you were afraid to speak for years, correct, Adam? You were afraid to speak.
So what was because of all of what happened? Every time I try to tell them, hey, look, I'm Adam, I want to go home. Every time I said that, something would happen. That was before I was adopted by them. So at that time, I pretty much lied and said I was Michael because of George Michael. I just said I was Michael. I wasn't Adam because I didn't want to go home because I was too scared that they would try to hurt my family again or try to get me again.
Right.
So the moment I felt safe in the place, I didn't want to lose that.
That's right. I understand that. And so at one point you finally told the adoptive parents that's where you stayed living for many years, right? Was with the adoptive parents, and their names were
Barb and Ron.
And you would finally go to them. Yeah, you were fairly treated decent there, right? You were not like terrorized. But when you would talk about saying, I am Adam, please help me, what would happen at that point?
I get either slapped in the face or no, that's not you.
Yet in the meantime, they never took you for any mental health exams to see if you were.
No, they never. Nor they ever really took me to the doctor either.
And now let's talk about the doctor. You guys ready for some evidence? Here we go. Are you ready? Get ready to look on your screen. This is a medical envelope. Okay, envelope from a medical facility with a bill inside. Okay, in which Adam went to Florida, and Adam, go ahead and tell the story, and then I'll put that up on the screen.
Well, I knew that when I was younger, that because of my heart, my bicuspid valve, that they were communicating. So to prove that, I went to the hospital up in Washington State, and then I went down to Florida and checked in as Adam. And when they tried to say, "Oh no, you're not Adam," I showed them the letter from Washington State, and they're like, "Oh well, I guess you are." So then that's how I got it. Was I connected the two hospitals who were communicating to each other?
Adam J. Walsh. Adam J. Walsh.
Condition.
So I'm going to leave this up on the screen for a while here, but you can see the medical facility. This is a sealed envelope. This is a bill. And I highlighted out the address for the sake of protection. But I don't know there. Let's leave that there for a minute. Can somebody put in comments whose name is on that? Can somebody put in comments whose name is on that, please?
What's that say, y'all?
I want to see how many of my guests can read.
Yep.
If this is not Adam, why is his name on that envelope?
I want to leave that up there for a couple. I want to leave that up there for people. You guys can keep putting up the name. I appreciate you putting up the name because I want to just make sure I'm not the only one reading that. Okay, I want to make sure. No, I don't think you could read, Tina. No, I was just wondering in a test. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving some vindication to this guy. 40 years of being silent. 40
This
years of being
is her
silent.
YouTube.
You have just exposed the largest heist, the largest corruption, the largest and most evil corruption that this country has seen. Our hearts break for the amount of children that have suffered because of what's going on in this nation. This is just amazing, and we thank you for not just coming live today, but for exposing this story. I got the kids of John Walsh on my show. Okay, I've got the kids of John Walsh. The daughter starts to, just ask questions about her family. Okay, and what ends up happening? What ends up happening is that her kids are taken away, just like all these other families' children are taken away. Our children are not yours to take away. Okay, our children are not yours to take away. And this is what's happening, and you wonder why they try to discredit you when you do this kind of work. This is why. Okay, tell me, connect the dots. Does it take a rocket scientist? Does it take a rocket scientist to figure this out, my friends? Hello. Look at the facial features. Look at his chin and his jawbone. Okay, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Go ahead.
And cheeks too.
The eyes, the eyebrows.
You should look at my sister's eyebrows.
Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience? Any questions for Adam from the audience today? And if there's anything else you can think of, it's amazing. Who ever thought? I told you I did an interview with your sister early on, and years ago in 2017, I was like, my son and I were on Missing and Exploited, and we were missing. And it just started opening up my mind to what is going on in this country. Two decent people, a decent mother with a clean background who advocates for families, is on Missing and Exploited as if we're missing. And and I had already been doing this work and seeing these families and meeting these families and seeing all this craziness, and I was looking at it, but not at this level. And I met my sister years later, and she's like, "Yep." And then we learned about the clearinghouse, and we met all this stuff, and here it is. So yes, that's a good question. It went really quickly, but Adam, so basically, you're not sure if your dad knows or not, but it's pretty obvious to me that your dad does know, and this word about you has been going out without you coming live on anybody out there yet to say. But this word about you has been coming out, and we have to ask the question, I think, as to why they haven't tried to, instead of hiding the DNA about you and blocking that, but trying to find out who you are.
Right. And that's something I want to know. I love my life. I want to know who I am.
So some people don't understand. Someone's asking, Pam, are the adopted parents still alive?
Yeah.
And are their children? Do you want to talk about that a little? Anyway.
Yeah. One has a family. The other boy has a family in Arizona. They're both up in their 80s or 70s, but they're still alive. I still talk to them on occasion. They were nice. They didn't treat me horribly. But at the same time, I felt like I was ignored.
So I spent many hours talking to Adam. For those that are asking, I see the question, but I've done a pre-investigation for 4 months now.
4 months, y'all. 4 months.
Well, I mean, the whole point is that what you want to know, if your children missing years ago, and there's never been, right or wrong, and I just need you to mute a second, Adam, I'm sorry, because it's just the backbeat, I'm sorry. There's never been any, yes, he went to jail for murder, but there's never been actual, no one's ever actually been accused of killing or of Adam being murdered, okay? So, that's right, they clapped him in the case for saying that he was Adam, that is correct. But you have to understand that also when kids are a part of abuse, they always tend to go toward less abuse versus more abuse. So that kind of explains that. Again, you must be a part of John Walsh. Oh, you're the one that's a part of John Walsh. I'm not even answering you. I've had to block you many times before. No, this is nonsense. I know what side you're on. Okay, everybody can see it clearly what's going on here. So I don't want to have to block you from my program, but I will. Again, I already answered that question. So, did you want to say anything else today, Adam? And I'm waiting for some questions to come up for you. You got a lot of
all I can say is that through everything that I've been through, I still don't hate my parents. You know, as I got older, I kind of matured and realized that even though one was having an affair, and that wasn't really something I had to deal with, but I kind of chose that I would do that. So, I mean, yeah, I could have probably went home years ago, but I didn't want to have the burden of them breaking up or whatever because of me. So,
I understand. Well, there's been a lot of prior investigations on a lot of different things regarding your parents too. Someone is asking, Florida Mom is asking, I'd like to put that back on the screen. Yeah, thank you. Florida Mom is asking, now I can't read it. Where did it go? It's going so quickly. Okay, well, anyway, Florida Mom was asking, I can't find it now, so if well, you may not know this, I don't know if you do, but and this is my question too, so I agree with you, is Florida Mom wants to know if John Walsh is tied to Jeffrey Epstein. My belief that the whole missing and exploited is, I don't know if you would even know that, Adam, would you?
no.
Which Meghan did say that they have been tied
So here's one side there.
to Epstein.
So just, it's all infiltrated together, and it goes as high up as the White House. All you have to do is go on the White House, go on the White House website, type in the name John Walsh, look at what comes up. There's a whole bill, there's a whole law put out for Adam Walsh for adoption.
Okay? There's a Lily law too.
And there's a Lily law too. And there's a Lily law too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mind blowing, right? So, is anybody? People are just sending you well wishes, Adam. They're just sending you well wishes. I also want to make a quick disclaimer. Meghan, who I've interviewed, that I talk to every day. She's neutral in all of this. Okay, she feels that she's done this in many interviews, not just my own interviews, but numerous interviews that she's been on. She feels that this is their responsibility to do the research and the homework behind this. It's not her responsibility, and that's pretty much the public statement for all of this. Whether she believes it or not, it's immaterial. Okay, that's not her responsibility. It was her parents' responsibility to find out the truth here, and they did not. Okay, so the story about Jeffrey Epstein was crazy. I think they knew about it. They chemically tortured the victims every time the children tried to leave the military jurisdiction. Yes. Okay, here's a good question, Adam. Were you able to get any schooling? I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Yes, I got total preschool. I was in second grade when I left when I was 6. When I was going to second grade. When I went to Washington State, I was preschool. So they kicked me back so many years. Which I don't know why, but probably to hide me.
And a number of years though, you went in as the name Michael. So you went so they celebrated your birthday as this Michael's birthday, but Michael was found. So I know this gets confusing, and I don't want to confuse people, but Michael was found. So Michael exists. Michael's alive.
Michael is alive. I went down to Florida recently and met with him and see how he was doing. So, and he's a celebrity. He's a war hero. He's a war hero of the storm. So, I didn't know if he was alive or not for a while, but he is.
Thank you, Matt, for asking that. Thank you so much. Thank you. This was my main question. Well, some of my main questions for you, Adam. What is the best memory you have as a kid? So we're going to go from age 6 and younger now, where Adam describes the house.
George Michael.
Going to see
George Michael's lap. With Revé there. Revé putting me on George Michael's lap was probably one of the most memorable times. Then they stuffed me into a pot. So it was a fun Christmas type thing with Revé and George Michael and me.
So, and Adam, and I believe I said that it interviewed as well. Go ahead and mute it for a second. Sorry. I hear the backbeat. This is an important question. Adam, can you talk about some of the things you remember before you were abducted, because that was real? Can you talk about what the house looked like? Front yard, backyard, inside. What do you remember? Grandma's house, anything like that?
I remember the house with the living room and the kitchen area. I remember that. I remember there being kind of like extended cushion area over by the windows. When it turns and then you have upstairs that goes up where my room was. I remember that. I remember going to Disney World, because it just opened up, I think, back in 81, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I remember that. And I remember Grandma's house having a yard. And I remember the farm with the cow and all that.
Have you ever driven out there and tried to find a house or anything like that? Have you ever tried to look at the house, or like if somebody pointed it to you, would you recognize it?
No, I don't think so. I think I probably recognize Grandma's house over the one over by the polo horse area. I recognize that house over by the farm.
And it would be over by what? A polo horse area, it's called?
Yeah, they played polo and they had horses. And Revé used to go up and ride the horse and take care of them. So, and the house was just a little bit down the hill from there. But that was Grandma's house. That wasn't my house.
Can you see that question? Do you want me to try to read it? I'm going to ask Joanne, go back and watch from the beginning because we did talk about that, and I don't want you to miss that. Very important. Okay, Adam Walsh, can you please talk to Michael Rehan Butler Barakas and tell him your story and let him know his brothers and his mom loves him and wants him home. So that's Florida Mom against DCF. I mean,
okay.
we can figure out how to get to talk to him. That would be great. So, okay. So next, what else was I going to say? Other questions that we have. They're curious to know if you miss your mom.
I miss John.
He misses John.
I don't miss Revé.
He doesn't miss, and you pronounce Revé. Okay, I was pronouncing it wrong. I was pronouncing it Revé. You don't miss her. So what was it like living with her?
Well, I can't really answer that very well because loopy, maybe. She's very loopy. I mean, she'd be fine at one point, and then we would like act all crazy and stuff. Like, what color is the submarine, Adam? And then they start singing like "Yellow Submarine," "The Yellow Submarine." I mean, they were. It's just weird things would happen. And I always felt like they're making fun of me as a child.
And can I just say something? So if you see Adam's color of his hair here, now you're dyeing it darker, correct?
Yeah, I dyed it darker.
I want to show you guys something else. You might have seen this picture. Find it, put it back up. He's dyed it darker now, but this is his hair color as a kid. You guys tell me. I mean, how old would you say you are in that picture there, Adam?
Oh, I'd say about 2 or 3.
Yeah, this is pre all of this, guys. See the hair coloring? See the hair coloring? And you got to try to put the camera. I know it's hard, but try to put it there.
Yeah, I colored my hair.
So now he's colored his hair, but you can see the red now. If you color, if any ladies out there that color their hair, you know that the lighter hair will come out through the darker color. Mm-hmm. And you can see it in the light right here. See the coloring, and this is his younger hair. Okay? All right? Okay? All right. All right, let's see if there's any more questions.
Again,
Maybe brought from us.
this is punish no more and free to protect.
I'd like to bring out positive things.
Well, I think in my present state, I know in my future I'll be healthier. Taking the stand that I'm doing, I've said no to bad habits, so I'm getting better. So the future looks promising. So I can say for there.
The mom wants to know: Will you speak for all children in CPS who want to come home? Would you be a voice for them if you could?
If I could, I would love to.
I kind of think you're doing that right now. I think this is a major breakthrough story. Again, it's up to you to make that decision, audience. It's up to you to decide. But with trans health, you'll be healthier to heal from all this. Oh, thank you, Jody.
Again, as she said, it's up to you to decide.
Thank you.
Adam Walsh
guys,
is alive.
Anything else you want to talk about? Oh, yeah, I know there was one thing you said that you remember pushing windowsills in the house.
There's these windows that kind of come out on the side, and there's a space there, and they had cushions there. Well, I used to love to nap there and look out the window and daydream. And I always got in trouble all the time for being up in window.
I'm just gonna have you mute for another second. So guys, these are some of the things that we can verify. Of course, that's going to be easy to verify. I think some of it was already verified. I don't want to put certain things out here right now, but more will. Thank you, Dorothy. That's your answer right there that Jody was saying, 100%. And this is what we deal with overall in this, dealing with the crazy family court and their evil. Yes, right now you're in a nursing home right now. Is that correct, Adam? Is that okay to?
Yeah, I'm in a nursing home right now. I'm doing physical therapy. I'm trying to get to walking better because of all the damage that I've been through. So there's a lot we didn't touch on, but if you want to talk about some of that, that's fine.
And Ida is saying, Adam, be a voice for everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
All I can say is I love that. What I remember of a CPS worker is them slapping me in the face when I was a child. That's what I remember of a CPS worker. What it's still today with a CPS worker is somebody slaps you in the face and says, get in the car. So
yeah, they told so you were being dragged in the car to go to another place.
Yeah. When last been in the doctor's house, I went to the car and they were slapping me and throwing me in the car. I was screaming and fighting back, and clearly didn't want to be adopted.
He's not any longer. You're not any longer a ward of the state, but he was more than deeper than a ward of the state, guys. That's a very good question.
No, I'm not a ward of the state. No.
Right, but everyone's a ward of the state when you get put through this hell. Back then, as a kid.
Back then, yeah.
And again, anybody that's watching and you're asking about DNA again, please go back to the beginning. We obviously covered that. We covered it. We have the naysayers and we have very few of you, because it's always more about us normal people than there are these absurd ones out there. But yeah. So the social worker, which we know 99% of the time they're not even licensed social workers, and licensed social workers get a bad rap for fighting against this horrible system. They call themselves that. They're actually CPS caseworkers and a lot of them don't even have a bachelor's degree. But anyway, so they're not a social worker, but like a master's degree social worker with a forensic background, but they slapped him in the face. Okay? They slapped him in the face. Yeah, that's okay. That's where he is. That is where he is. Praying for you in all aspects. And what laws should CPS workers be charged with? Oh, I mean, all these people need to come down. They all need to go down. So you're right. The person. Okay, so let's see. You're going to have lots of moms looking out for you now. So, well, Adam, everybody is very happy that you came forward. We're very grateful. I believe this is going to be a very huge. Once this really starts spreading, this is a very huge breakthrough in this entire evil that's been occurring. And you have major support here. So we thank you, and we thank you again for coming out. And how do you feel this finally? People want to know, how do you feel after 40 years being able to tell your story? They're here today.
I'm in a safe place.
Here's Melanie. She said, "How do you?"
I feel pretty good because I'm in a safe place for now where I can actually get to the point where I can say something and not have anyone cause drama or hurt me or something.
Yeah.
Saying
right. Okay, guys, we got about 3 more minutes before this program ends today. So please stay on to the end in case anybody needs help. You'll learn how you can get help or how you can reach me privately. I think people asking that. If you have any questions, I'd like you to put it in chat right now. Or any questions, concerns, or anything that you want to put, or any statements you want to make to Adam before we wrap the show today. To mention this one, to GoFundMe for Adam, if that's something that Adam has to do, I will share it happily. I don't do my own personal banking cards or anything that has to do with helping financially anybody else, but they can, and they can tag me, and I will be happy to spread that word like I do with others. I've never done one. I don't campaign for finances for somebody per se for myself, but you guys can totally do a GoFundMe like stated here on my account, and then I will be happy to spread the word for you. It has to go directly to you. That money would go directly to you. I don't want to be the middle person with finances ever. Sadly, you can get. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Sadly, you can get through CPS Fosters and Adoption. Thank you for sharing. Hope you're in a good, safe place. Prayers and blessings. Okay. All right. Thank you again. You want to say anything else before we wrap today?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, good. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. We're so blessed to have you. We'll have you back. We're going to have you back, for sure, for certain. Everyone's thanking you, and but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, okay, well, we're going to go into what's normally the intermission. We're going to go into the quick intermission, just in case anybody needs my help. You'll be able to get that information on the screen. It's going to come up here shortly. And thank you guys for watching and spread the word. Thank you so much for being on here, Adam.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back after a message from Punished for Protecting Incorporated. Each new generation of protective mothers is shocked when they first go to family court and find.
Okay, so that is that. That is a wrap. If you looked on that envelope, it said Adam J. Walsh. Adam Walsh is still alive. Again, the channel name is Punished No More and Free to Protect. You can look up her on YouTube. You can watch the whole live yourself, not just listen to the audio. You can watch from beginning to end. You can look at the DNA. You can look at the mail. You can look at the pictures and you can compare. You can look at it all. Again, Punch No More and Free to Protect. Thank you, Francesca Amato, for doing this. I will include her link in the description once I'm able to get to it. And I will be posting it in the description. You will be able to access her channel. You will be able to watch this live. Unfortunately, I could not figure out how to do it myself to share the screen because I am not that tech savvy. But Francesca Amato had done research. She had been researching this and looking into this for over 4 months before doing this live. It wasn't just on a whim. She got her facts. She got her evidence. She got all the proof she needed before she done this live. Adam Walsh is still alive. Again, he said he missed John more than he did Reva. Or my bad, Revé is what Revé. He missed John more than he did Revé. He was abused. He was at so many other different things has happened. He was shot at. He was stabbed. You know, I mean, what child deserves that? And then they turn away in the blink of an eye. And it was one tooth used to extract his evidence that was placed on that head. They didn't use all of the teeth, just one for DNA. Adam is still alive to this day, people. Do your research. Look at your evidence. Look at your facts. Why hasn't his body been found after all these years? Hasn't any of this been brought to the media's attention? Every time he tries to speak out, someone gets hurt, someone gets killed. Adam Walsh is still alive, people. This is a scam. This is a hoax on the media's part, on John Walsh, on Revé's part. He is alive. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for coming to my live stream.